script writer, a Jamaican authorpreneurship expert. Ruth has created the Authorpreneur Secrets Academy and the first Caribbean Authorpreneur Summit around her book, Authorpreneur Secrets. Write fast, publish affordably, and generate lasting income. As an Amazon best-selling author of 21 books, she has coached several Caribbean authors to become Amazon best-selling authors. Her mission is to raise up 10,000 winning Caribbean entrepreneurs by 2030, to ensure fewer books die in the minds of their authors, that more manuscripts become published legacies, and precious lives are transformed with the turn of every page. Let's welcome C. Ruth Taylor.
Greetings, friends. What if the self-publishing is stopping you from producing your best earning or your best selling book? Have you considered other ways to earn with books apart from selling books? What are your thoughts on self-publishing? Why does it matter? Is this something you would like to put as part of your portfolio? This evening, we want to continue with Authorpreneur Secrets Live, episode 2, and pick up where we left off last week. Last week, I shared with you my story and 3 secrets that helped me to start making a living with books. And I shared that 1, learning to self-publish was a game changer. 2, I offered multiple services. And 3, I invested in coaching. And today I'm going to be expounding on key number 1, which was learning to self-publish. I'm C. Ruth Taylor, as you heard there in the introduction. I am a Jamaican entrepreneur, best-selling author of over 25 books. I'm a publishing consultant and a self-publisher. And today I want to share some secrets and some stuff to help you to make a living with books. So, did you know that 80% of new releases, books that are published, are self-published books? Yep, we are outdoing traditional publishers. And it is said that every 30 seconds now, a book goes out. And for a long time, the self-publishing stopped me from publishing for others. For a long time, self-publishing had a stigma, but about 10 years ago, things started changing with Amazon. And so self-publishing today is a viable publishing option. So you don't have to feel as if you're not a real author if you self-publish. But the word self-publishing is a misnomer. And the in self-publishing stopped me because I thought if I self-published that I had to do everything by myself. And so after my first book was published, people kept coming to me. How did you publish? How do you publish? They wanted guidance and advice. And I remember when I decided to publish after my first book, I said, I'm going to start publishing for myself. I was scared. I wasn't sure if I could do this. When I told my publishing manager that this is going to be the only book, I was completely scared. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. There was so much to learn. And I published my second book, When Trees Talk. I started, that was 2016. And it became an Amazon bestseller. I didn't even know it was number 12 in all of the Amazon store at the time, but I didn't understand the whole self-publishing stuff. And people kept coming to me, and I started helping friends for free to publish. But I was doing most of it. I was also partnering with a company in the US, a publishing services provider, but it was still a lot of work on me. And I just didn't want to do it. So the self-publishing was holding me back. And then a friend one day, we were driving and talking, and he said, you know that some of the jobs that I get, I am not the one ultimately responsible for the whole project. I only do a part. And that's when the light bulb just switched on. I didn't have to do all the parts in this process. Once you're paying for any part of the process, it's self-publishing. But in the Caribbean, we just say publish, and we want somebody to do it for us. So we don't call that self-publishing. But if you're paying to publish and you don't have a traditional publisher who's covering all the cost and giving you royalties, that is not, it is still self-publishing that you're doing. Another term for it is independent publishing. So how could you make a living with books through self-publishing? Why does it matter? In the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to talk to you. So let's look at some stuff. What are the costs of self-publishing? All right. And I started posting some of those things today. Now, I did some research. I went, just Google, what's the cost of self-publishing? And I found a stats by Reads It that says in 2024, the cost of self-publishing is between $2,820 and $5,360. Now, Reads is a reputable site. It's accepted by the Alliance of Independent Authors. It's legitimate. Now, when you look at that, that's a whole heap of money. How many of us in Jamaica can afford that, right? That's over 440,000 Jamaican dollars, between 440,000 Jamaican dollars and over 840,000 Jamaican dollars. That's car money and house money. That's 1 year worth of school fee. And that's a whole heap of money. And one of the reasons I started self-publishing was to cut down on my cost. So why does it matter? 80% of the books going out are self-published books. But you got to learn more to earn more. So if you want to publish books at will, you want to learn the self-publishing process. And it doesn't mean that you do everything. But what I'm saying is that that income range, some of that can be yours if you decide to publish for others and become what we call a self-publisher, offer publishing services. So that's either money you're going to save or some of the money that's going to come into your pocket. So that is some of the earning potential. And that cost includes the book production, editing, design, and sometimes a little marketing. All right. And so I wrote this book, and this series is based on this book. It's Authorpreneur Secret, Write Fast, Publish Cost Effectively, and Generate Lasting Income. This book basically teaches you how to write, publish, and make a living, how to make money with books. And it really is a comprehensive course in publishing. So if you want to learn how to self-publish, I encourage you to get this book. Part 2 says, how do you publish on a budget? And it teaches you how you can cut down on your publishing costs exponentially. So you can get this book. I also have a YouTube playlist that goes into the publishing secrets. I think it's called Masterclass on the same channel. And I have about 10 videos that take you through the process. And of course, you can get this book, the ebook, or the physical book. So if you're going to offer services, this is like your publishing Bible. But why does it matter? My first book it cost a lot, and I ended up in debt, and I share that story there. But when I learned the process of self-publishing, one, I could publish whenever I wanted to, and it saved me. It would not have been possible each time to publish to find $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 US, because remember I told you last week I didn't have any other income coming in. I was just depending on the book sales because I had burnt the boats. So learning saved me. the steps I knew where to go to cut down on costs. And this book covers all of that. The tutorials that I have on the website cover that. So it cuts down on the cost, so much so that when one year, I think in 2020, I published 16 books for less than what the first book cost me. I'm not lying. 16 books for less than what the first book cost me. Because one, I learned the process. So the first key there is to learn the process. I'm a representative, the Caribbean ambassador for the Alliance of Independent Authors. It's a global organization that governs the self-publishing industry, and they stand for ethics and excellence in self-publishing. And so I'm going to break down the process for you. Ally says publishing has 7 parts, and I'm going to talk about the production aspect and how that can put money in your pocket. When you learn that, you save money, but you also now have another income stream with books. So Ally says that there are 7 parts to the process, and each of these 7 parts can give you income. So you may not even want to do all of it, but if you learn, if you decide to do a certain part of it, that's money coming in, right? So Honor Ross is the founder and head of the Alliance of Independent Authors, and that's a good organization to join. They give advice. You can get all your self-publishing questions answered. You can join if you are an author publishing your first book, or if you're running a company. Any questions you have, they have guides in about publishing. It's just a great organization to represent you. If you have problems with Amazon, if you need a lobby, Ally is for that. All right. So they have broken down the process. And my book as well breaks down the process, but I want to show you the 7 parts. So you have the editorial part, you have the design, you have the formatting and other production issues, you have distribution, you have marketing, you have promotion, and then you have licensing and publishing rights. Now, I am not going into the licensing part. I don't have any expertise in that. But you could make money with books by working with independent authors by just promoting the book. Authors struggle with promotion and marketing. And so there are companies that are built on just marketing and promoting the book. One of those companies overseas is called Written Word Media. And as a self-publisher, you can add that as part of the services that you want to provide. So if you're good at marketing, content marketing, email marketing, any kind of marketing and promotion, you could do this. Written Word Media, for example, they have a mailing list of readers. Over some of the categories have like over 400 readers, and they charge like, you have free promotion, you have $25, $65 US dollars. So you could make money just from marketing. Then you have distribution. You could make money with books by distributing books for authors. And that's partly what Amazon has done, because when you put the book up there, they're distributing it and they take a percentage of the cost. They take 30% for the ebook, and they take 60% minus the cost for the print book. And so Amazon is a self-publishing services provider, and that's how they're making money. You may want to charge, for example, there are people in the diaspora who would love somebody back home in their home country to distribute the books for them, to market and sell it, get it into bookstores and different things. You could be earning from that. But my favorite part of the process is the bookmaking. And that is where you can make the most of the money. Now, obviously, the figure that I quoted, the 2,800, you're not going to go on with all of that, because the self-publishing doesn't mean that you do everything yourself. You're going to need a team. So you see the book, it has a cover, right? It have the inside with the words that need to be edited. You could make money by doing the cover design. You could make money through the editing, or you could manage the whole process. You can make money through self-publishing by managing it, teaching it, or doing it yourself. And for me, I am able to do all parts, but when you're doing all parts of the process yourself, it is tedious. Certainly, if you do everything for the author who doesn't want to do it, you're going to keep most of the money, right? So that would be like $2,000 in your pocket, but it's not good to do it by yourself. And so you would want to connect with an editor to make sure the book is edited properly. You want to connect with a cover designer to ensure that the cover is done properly. Some of you in your family, you have children who are good at graphic design and that kind of thing. You can enlist them in the process. And then you want to make it cost effective, right? So that's one of the things that we push in the Authorpreneur Secret Academy. So every year, we have a publishing support program where we challenge our authors to publish a book for less than $1,000. And some of them in that process, they learn it. You'll have to do your own reading. I also have a certification program. I'm not trying to sell you the program, but if you're considering it seriously and you need the expertise and the coaching, I have a program that carries you through that. But like I said, there are free tutorials, and I have the book. You could get the ebook for $9.99 or the print book for $35 or the hardcover for $47. And you can learn the process, and that's how you can earn. So I can publish at will now. I will give it out to an editor. And these days now, you have ChatGPT, you have Pro Writing Aid, you have all kinds of tools that can help you with the editing process. And then if you need guidance, you can always book a session with a consultant to carry you through, because I find that even if you have a graphic design friend or family member, sometimes though they are good at the design, they don't really understand how designing is in books. So sometimes they use the wrong fonts. Sometimes the text is not where it should be. Sometimes the image and the cover design don't match the genre. So you're gonna need some guidance. And there are free groups that you can join: the Self-Publishing Formula Community, the Indie Authorpreneurs group. You have groups that you can show your cover and get feedback. You can get advice. You have the Alliance of Independent Authors that can give you advice. You have different podcasts that you can get advice. All I'm saying is that learning to self-publish was a big game changer for me. It enabled me to publish whenever I wanted to. I didn't have to dole out $2,000 every time. And by offering the services, I was now able to put money in my pocket. And that's how I started earning. I took the experience of publishing and started using it to help others. And I didn't have to do everything. I managed the process sometimes. I did a few things. I learned the skill of book formatting, and that one skill was a game changer. So these days with my own books, I just do pay for one round of editing, and then I can use ChatGPT and Pro Writing Aid. Some people use Grammarly, all of those tools to do the proofreading. Sometimes you have beta readers to read because your eye won't catch everything. And then I outsource the cover. We're talking about my own books now, right? And so I format myself, but you could also outsource the formatting. And so what are the key takeaways? How you could make a living with self-publishing? When you learn more, you earn more. So you can manage the process. So you can be the person now who gets the team to get the work done, and you manage the process. So you find the person to put the cover design, the editor, the formatter, and you manage the process for another author. It's like going to the hairdresser. Some of us can braid our hair, but we don't have the time. So we go to the hairdresser, the professional, to get it done. You could become the professional to do it for somebody else. You can also teach the process. You have people who have courses just in self-publishing and they earn a living from that. You could do workshops, seminars, different things in self-publishing and earn, and then you could do it. You could learn and do it so you can publish your books at will. And if you learn how to do parts of it, that's more money left in your pocket. I hope that inspired you. I hope, it has helped you some. And if you have questions, now is the time to answer those questions. So you can post your questions in the comments and I will try to answer it. Anything that I said resonated? Any questions you have regarding self-publishing? I think I left out one thing. You need a platform to put the book out there. That would be like Amazon. There are several platforms, but you could start with Amazon. There is Draft to Digital. There is Book Vault. There are many platforms. You could print locally. You could publish your book, sell it on your own website, but at least begin with Amazon because they're the big dog. Any questions? Did this make any sense? Are you thinking of self-publishing? Or is the self in self-publishing going to turn you off and say you want somebody else to do it on your behalf? Talk to me. I know I have a few folks watching with me live. No questions, no comments. Are you going to self-publish to earn more with books? That was a game changer for me. And so you would see on the background, you see Bamboo Sparks. Bamboo Sparks is an assisted, is a self-publishing services provider. So we provide the services, authors pay us, those who don't have the time and want somebody to manage it, and that's an income earner. And then with the parts of the publishing process, we can generate now income for other people, the designer, the editor, all of those things. Ian, good to see you. It's been a while. So you're saying self-publish. All right. Yeah. Any questions, any comments? Well, if there are no questions or comments, we're not going to prolong the broadcast. I'm going to invite you to join me next week for another session as we talk about how to make a living with books, which is what the Authorpreneur Secrets is about, beyond just selling the books. And I'm saying consider self-publishing. Both, either you're going to manage it, you're going to teach it, or do it. It's going to put money in your pocket. Let me flash on the screen again how much money we're talking about. We're talking about anywhere between $2,820 to $5,360 US dollars. Of course, you can publish for less, which is why I want to encourage you to get the book to learn how you can publish for less. But if you're in the business, this is the kind of money you can begin to come into. And especially if you're publishing outside the region, globally, there are people who will gladly pay you this. And the more parts of it you could do for yourself is the more of that money you can keep instead of giving that out. All right. So this is Ruth Taylor encouraging you to pen it to win it. Go dominate authorpreneurship. Ta for now. Until next time. Bye.